I love it that he just sued the IRS for not protecting his tax returns.
Absolutely.
Is it 10 billion he sued him for?
10 million. Yep. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Did you have a question?
Tell that my brain is spinning. My mental focus is, we're trying to hold people accountable, and we can't because the judges are all corrupt. And if the judge, that's going to be my focus, is if we don't start putting people in there that are actually going to, we've been told over and over again that, we're going to do this to this person. I'm waiting for these people to be held accountable. And the few are getting let go, John Lemon recently, because the judges are letting them out. And so that's where my focus is, whether it be local or any other. We have to get judges in there that are actually willing to stand behind the Constitution and the law.
Absolutely.
And so it isn't necessarily the person going to, the Senate or the Congress. That's what's stopping.
That is part of it.
90% of what's been tried to do. It's the judges that are coming in and acting like the president.
Absolutely, and that's a great point, which I wanted to touch on. So I'm glad you brought that up. Judges are nonpartisan, so the general voters really typically don't know who they're voting for. So
they just put the ones that are in there back in. Oh,
they put
doing a good job,
and what Jocelyn Benson did in the last election cycle was made sure that the voters knew who those judges were by putting incumbent next to their name. So people think, oh yeah, they're already in there, I'm going to vote for them again. So it's important for clubs like this to help educate the general public by doing what I had said before. You send those letters out and you let people know which judges are with who and what. Look up their history. How have they ruled on these certain things? Then you send that out to the public and let them know that this is what these judges have been doing, and here's a judge that's running that will actually do the job, and give a name so they'll know who to vote for.
On the federal level, with the federal judges, those are the inferior courts set up by Article 1 of the Constitution. Only Article 3 sets up the Supreme Court, which is the superior court. So all these inferior courts that are doing all this gamesmanship and all this absolute horse crap falls on the legislature, falls on Congress, falls on your representative and your senator. So that's where the pressure has to go on those people to get rid of those judges. The other thing is that we've allowed judges that are not American citizens to sit on those benches. And that is another huge problem in my book. But that involves you getting with your senators and your federal senators and federal congressmen, representatives, because they're the ones that pick the judges for the inferior courts.
And that goes back to my point about, yes. And that goes back to my point about how important those personal interactions are. They're also important for you to have those relationships with your elected officials. When you have those relationships, they are more impactful than the calls and the emails, although they do help because they need that to go to the table to fight for you. When a legislator walks into the session and they have to sit here and debate with the other people on the other side and they have nothing to back them up, they're less likely to be successful. But if they have a stack of emails and he can say, I have 500 emails right here from my constituency saying this is what they want me to do and that is how I'm voting. That gives them the strength, that gives them the backbone. When they know they have the support from the public, it's very, very important. So, and it's very important to maintain those relationships. And what I have found and what I've seen in the last 15 years is a lot of people get involved through the election process. They help get these candidates elected, and then they set them free, leave them to the wolves. You have to maintain those relationships because it's very hard for them to look you in the eye and say they voted against you if they have that relationship with you.